feature race. 12 laps, an inverted grid, and much more action.
And Johan Free will be on the charge.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to hold him back, but remember, you can control the ground up the inside. A little bit of rubbing is racing in the early stages before we even hit turn 1. But remember, the Audis will be able to control the ground on the inside line. If you go offline, there's no grip.
Ducati in the Castrol, John Cooper Works Mini is going to have his work really literally cut out for him. Somebody getting a little wide on there, as you say. Dust still on this track.
Yeah, and there's going to be more and more. 12 laps, the guys will be grabbing inside curb, outside, and dragging the dust all over the place. Right now, the ground is being held, but we know that the straight line speed and power of the BMWs will come forward later on in the race.
Well, here comes the move. Here comes the move. This is going to look really awesome because we've got Ferrari and Bonafide there, all three side by side. There's a touch.
Well, forget later in the race, the BMW power comes straight forward on lap number 1. So Ferrari making mincemeat, jumping up 2, and he is on the fly. And once again, just track positioning, leaving Bonafide left on the outside, and he's going to have to do a big fight back now.
Oh, massive fight back. I mean, he lost a lot of time there, and he's going to be absolutely seething underneath that helmet.
So here we go, the man to beat, and the man to beat for the last 2 rounds, Ferrari. He looks untouchable. Reigning champion still with the A1 on the side of his car. Michael Stephen battling for form once again.
Team Engine Extreme is getting representation, but they're in second right now behind Henny Grunewald, and Henny loves to be in front.
Yeah, Moss always seems to find himself close to the front or at the front on the second race. And look at the freight train that is happening here in the Class Ts. Ducati is leading things out. Then it's Smallberger, and Smallberger's hanging the back end of that car out to go on board with Motto as he closes and chases down on his teammate, and Thompson climbs up the inside.
That was amazing. Not much room to get through there. Small little gap, but they're 2 abreast side by side, and the fight is on.
Thompson trying to sweep around the outside here. He is going to get squeezed out all the way to the curb and possibly then some, but Dumini, he actually backs out of that one and gives a little bit of extra space to the Mini.
Ever the gentleman.
Yeah, and here we go. Up the inside, 2 in 1. Can it happen? Don't take out the teammate. Formato had to back out of that one, but you can see Formato's pace today and this weekend is very strong. He's going to have to try and get through, but 2 in 1 is going to be difficult.
Where have you ever seen this on a racetrack? Side by side, the ST Focus and the Castrol John Work. Oh, he backs out again. Look at that, amazing. But my point was, I mean, side by side, the speed is identical.
Yeah, so Dumini gets sent 2 places back, in fact 3, as Nathan comes charging on through as well. Here's Van Rooyen recovering from his mistake in the early part of race number 1.
Well, it changes the championship points right now because there wasn't a big gap with the Chevy Cruze coming into this race.
Yeah, here we go. And I said coming into this round as well, the Chevy Cruze was one of the firm favorites. It slips through the air nicely and has a good power package, but Van Rooyen is battling. He should be able to move himself forward, though. He's on the back wheel of Nathan and will just plow the field. We go back to the front end of the A's and look at Henny Grunewald. He is managing that lead and actually extending away, and it's Moss that is getting closed down by the 2 BMs.
Well, of course, the BMWs are flying formation right now, but there is Moss under extreme pressure from those BMWs. We've got to get some more out of Stephen right now. He needs the points, and he can't let the gap start to go before round number 6.
Gennaro Bonafide was a long way off after his problems in lap number 1. He's now closed things down on Michael Stephen and looks like he should be able to come through with his race pace. Here's a move, and it's Thompson flying through. Smallberger, that Smallberger that gets sent 1 place back. He's on the dirty line as well. He's not going to get good drive, and Formato's got a chance to shove it up the inside.
And amazingly, Ducati is still hanging in there.
Yeah, only because he's not locked in a battle. He's able to run his own laps, clean track, doesn't have to look in his mirrors yet.
Well, here's the straight line speed, and on the outside, it looks like that could be Formato getting the better of Smallberger.
Yeah, just positioned himself nicely, got to the inside of turn number 1, and very nearly opened the door for Nathan to come on through. So it's 2 GTIs flying here. Smallberger, he's going to be nice to Nathan. You know that. He's going to give him some space, and Nathan around the outside gets a little bit loose, but he will make that pass. So he is moving forward as Formato moves forward as well. That's what we like to see in the feature race, 12 laps, and the guys fast at the back, they will move through.
So here we got some great action in the John Cooper Works Minis, and finally Thompson gets the line and Ducati moves over. Well, we saw that coming.
Yeah, I think that was on the cards from the start here. Ducati now is going to have to cover the line. Formato is not going to be nice about this, though. He needs to get through. He is the fastest man on circuit, and Ducati gets the back end hanging loose. That's going to kill his drive, but it also killed Formato's drive. He couldn't get the line, and he couldn't get the power down.
Well, that was it. It was obvious. You could actually see that because he took a really bad line there and tried to actually cut it back in, and there was just no grip.
He's got a good drive around the outside, though. He's going to try and sweep it, and Nathan has the best seat in the house. Now, Nathan has to move forward when Formato does. Formato's done the sweet line around the outside. He is going to be a little bit offline on the dirty stuff, and he just squeezes in middle of the track. Mdukani has to back out of that one, but here comes GTI power.
Well, Nathan does not need a written invitation.
The bad thing is he's setting up on the outside going into this next big right-hander, so he's got some work to do. Offline. Yeah, he got forced offline, couldn't get it stopped, but he is going to go for the cutback and try the power up into the toe of the boot.
So back to Class A, and it's still Henny Grunewald leading out over Simon Moss, and here comes the BMW. It looks like Ferrari had a little look in there. Not quite sure whether it was Cronier, but it looked like Ferrari.
Yeah, Moss is starting to cover lines. The pace in the second place battle is definitely going to slow down, and Moss is all over the place. You can see late on the brakes, there's a good shot. It's definitely confirmation. Ferrari is the man in third place, trying to move forward as quick as he can.
Well, we know the team has said, look, Simon, you've got to be patient. And you know, as a youngster with full of energy and blood, you just want to race that car, but he sometimes just has to rein it in.
Yeah, he runs wide lines the whole way through there as well. Here is Nathan. He is charging on through. And look at this. We're going to have a straight-out dogfight pretty soon.
Well, Lee Thompson, I didn't see that coming, to be honest with you.
Thompson, then Formato, then Nathan, and Mdukani. These guys came together at the previous round down at the coast, which ended up with Nathan rolling over and having to do a full rebuild on the car before this round. They are glued together and rubbing plastics once again.
Wow, talk about how dirty that track is. Have you seen on the corners the amount of rubber and marbles and dust and stones? It's insane.
Absolutely filthy. The lap times are really not that impressive, to be honest, because the guys are just not finding any kind of grip. But we are seeing some great racing action. And Mdukani sitting in fourth place at the moment, hanging on grimly. Look at the first place battle, though. The first place lead, should I say. Grunewald has got a massive one.
And here he comes, Farney. He's gone on the inside. Oh, Simon closes the door and gets it all skewed.
No, that was never going to work out. He was watching the mirrors. He tried to cover the inside line as Ferrari went up the inside. Simon didn't back out of it. He went wide on the dirty stuff and went way wide.
Yeah, looking too much in that rearview mirror. When Johan's coming, he's coming.
And look at that. He kept it buried, stayed in it, then he drifts mid-corner onto the dirty stuffs, straight out to the dirt, and we're off into rally school.
Well, I think he's done really well not to roll that car.
Yeah, normally when going out there at that speed, it would catch and flip over, so a slightly better situation. But look at the situation on Nathan. That wasn't a back wing, although it looked like the back wing, the way the back end hung out, but that was the rear bumper letting go from that earlier incident with Mdukani, and here we go once again.
The car is not looking so sexy anymore.
Yeah, well, it's looking a little bit loose as well. I think Nathan, look at him, he's having a wiggle there, checking out the situation with the car. Has he got a handling problem? He certainly thinks he does within the cockpit, and he's going to have to go back and go into battle once again with the second of the minis. That's Mdukani, who takes back third place.
So Graham Nathan coming into this round as the leader. He will need the points to keep out Gary Formato. But where is the Chevy Cruze?
Yeah, more importantly, Gary Formato is holding an extremely strong pace at this round. But look what's happening at the front of the Class A's. That's early race leader Henny Grunewald, who looked like he was controlling this race to the tune of 4 seconds, and he has been eaten up.
Is there a problem maybe with that car?
Oh, 100% there's a problem. A small misfire perhaps, but he is definitely not making the power that he wants to. And Ferrari, race number 1 winner, and the man who is on stellar form at the moment, just slides on through as easy as you like.
This will be an outstanding season so far. Who would have thought coming back from the winter break and this is going to happen? It could be a 4 for 4.
Remember as well, coming from the previous round down at the coast, Grunewald's car almost a full rebuild as well, so it's a miracle that it ran as good as it did in heat number 1, but heat number 2 and the feature race, some things let go. He's getting closed down by the second of the BMs now.
Well, Cronier must be scratching his head seeing the results that Ferrari is getting under his belt and go, well, you know what, I've got the same package. What's going on?
Well, I think they're matched as far as drivers go. Ferrari is just in that zone at the moment. He can do no wrong. But Henny Grunewald, even though he's got some problems on the Sasol Racing Audi, he's not going to make this an easy job for sure. Cronier, the best he's going to settle for here is second place, because he will not be able to match the pace of Ferrari out front.
Well, here's a question for you, Matt. We've seen history made in 3-time champion in Michael Stephen. Do you think the camper's worried right now because he's not here performing as well as they should be?
You know what? He's got the ability as a driver to bounce back. We do go to some of the more tighter technical Audi-style circuits later in the season, but for now, the mid-season is all about BMs.
Johan Ferrari, the alcohol killer BMW. What a team package and what a drive.
Yeah, ADF Motorsport getting a great package for him. He talks about the fact that they've developed the car around his unique driving style. He likes to hang the back end out. They found a package that works for him, and he is just, you can see, just having fun behind the wheel. Formation flying once again for the BMs.
So round 5 at Vulcan, let's get confirmation of results. Johan Ferree first, Gavin Cronier second, Michael Stephen in third. Thompson and Formato up front in Class T, but here comes Nathan to try and get a podium.
This is for third place. Umdakani is hanging on to this one. Nathan, now that he's figured out the back end of his car is a little bit looser and a little bit lighter with the loss of his bumper, he is on the big attack. And here we go, squeeze back again. Shades of East London. Umdakani trying to block the inside line. Nathan ain't backing out of this one.
Wow, that's incredible. He just holds his line, and the youngster really just gave it up to Nathan.
Yeah, and here we go. Squeeze back the whole way. Nathan, though, is going to go for the big cutback, and he's going to get the drive. Umdakani is in big trouble here if he thinks he's got this battle won.
Well, the war scars and the damage on that Mini, and here comes Nathan. You can see the Mini just on the left-hand side of the picture. Will he get the cutback? It looks like he can. Can he get the drive?
It is going to get the drive, so that's a little bit of wily driving there. A good setup from Nathan. The Mini, the second of the Minis, Umdakani tried to block the line, lost his drive. Nathan takes the third place, but it's a win in Heat 2 for Thompson.
Confirmation of those results in Class T. It was Lee Thompson in the Mini, Gary Formato, and by a bumper, Graham Nathan in third.
From the Bridgestone Production Cars round number 5, a big thanks to Jaguar for all of this action.